So we're going to have a bit of a chat about Saveco today in a sort of two-parter. The first one, we're going to talk about the VFA DM Septage receiving station, which I had to read out, but I think you've nicknamed it the Beast, which is perhaps a little more memorable. And then we're going to ask a little bit about the company's presence in the UK. So if we can just start with the Beast, if I may call it that. What is it? You know, sort of high level, what's the technology solution there?
Yeah, it's the next generation in sludge handling. I think in a market at the moment where everyone's got their own kind of issues and boundaries that they need to try and press upon, it's important that we came in with an innovative product in the market. So we're calling it the new and next generation of sludge handling. It offers an all-in-one solution, so it will screen your sludge. It will wash the screenings that come out of it. It will convey and it will dewater the screenings. So it means that the customer doesn't need to invest in multiple pieces of equipment. So essentially bringing their operational costs down the line down, considerably. So that's the whole point of the Beast.
Okay, and just in terms of how you've given us a sort of high level view, but can you give us a bit more about the technical solution, how it works from
of course,
the arrival of said sludge to when when the process is finished?
Of course. So the sludge Beast that we affectionately call it will actually allow you to add imported or indigenous sludges. So imported via tankers or your indigenous just coming through the site as per normal. It will allow faster offloading of imported sludges from the tankers. So it will actually allow them to connect via a parrot joint directly from the tanker into the machine, and it will then screen sludge up to 200 meters cubed an hour based on 6mm perforation, and the perforation size is actually in a drum, so it will be 3D screening as well. But it gives the ability to be able to screen directly through the machine rather than putting strain under the existing assets, which in most cases on wastewater treatment plants, they can struggle to take additional loads when they're already overrun anyway. So it gives them the flexibility of tankers and the already indigenous sludges.
Okay, so potentially they can do away with, as I understand, the upstream tank and sort of gravity feed. That's not necessary, as you say, because you can connect direct. Is that one
exactly
major potential advantages?
Essentially, our first UK reference site has given the indication it's going to be a massive cost saving for them because of the lack of or without the need of having storage tanks to store their sludge and then to pump it into their existing assets. It gives them the ability to deal with that sludge at that point and put it through the existing plant, enabling them to just continue on, and it saves them money in the long run. I think that's the key thing here, is a process improvement, demonstrating value to the customer, and obviously making it a slicker ride, a slicker journey for the people on site.
Okay, and in terms of the benefit, there's the sort of capital cost potentially of doing away with the need for that tank, but also, I mean, I'm wondering, I think you mentioned about capacity. Are you able to put more sludge through more quickly? And is that there for another advantage? What other sort of benefits?
Yeah, I think if we're working on the basis of meter cubed as a flow rate in this instance, the maximum flow rate that the machine can take with a percentage solids, in an ideal world, we'd be saying between 2 and 3% at 200 meters cubed an hour. Now, we appreciate, and certainly speaking to Yorkshire Water, speaking to other water utilities out there, they can't guarantee it's only going to be 2 to 3%. Obviously, effluent can vary quite considerably. They're working on the basis that it could be of 6-8% dry solids. So in that case, we've said that our machine will cope with that. It may just take slightly longer for the machine to process it, but it's going to be able to cope with those high percentage of solids, and it's going to be able to process that again quicker, a lot slicker, a lot easier than it would if you had to store it for however long and then obviously try and then pump that through to the station.
Okay, and in terms of, you've mentioned obviously it's a sort of, it's an innovation. So the UK water industry is traditionally quite sort of slow or reluctant to take on board new stuff without lots of trying. But your pedigree is pretty impressive in the States. So maybe you can just highlight what's been going on in the States, and therefore it's not an untried, untested, but you do have, as I say, a significant sort of backstory.
Yeah, I've been quite eager to demonstrate how successful the machine has been in the United States of America. I suppose essentially they are known as our, transatlantic cousins, if you like. I think the success that has been bought from USA meant that they were able to test and innovate a certain design to make it as successful as it is now. So they were almost the guinea pigs, if you like. So it allows me to introduce this beast into the UK market as a tried and tested machine, rather than having to go through all of those potential issues that had happened. So this was originally introduced into the US market in 2013. It took pretty much the same as what I'm kind of going up against in the UK market as it stands. It took them 2 years to get the first beast into the US market. So there were a lot of people kind of sat there thinking, well, I like the idea of it, but I don't want to be the first. I don't want to be the, I don't want to be that person. I want to see it working first. And then kind of, there's almost a virtual queue of people ready to buy it. They just don't want to be the first, which it's innovation. Innovation is about being the first person and about pushing the boundaries. But it took them 2 years to sell the first beast into the US. After the first one was installed and it was a credible reference, they sold a further 9 the second year, the third year. So it was testament to the fact that it was a success. Obviously, they sold the first, and then they sold a further 9 the third year, and then they've sold 59 since its inception in 2013.
Okay, and you mentioned earlier about Yorkshire Water, and I know that they are the first folks. So I think it's Woodhouse Mill. So, and again, I appreciate it can be quite there's privacy concerns and all the rest. But what are you able to share about what you are doing with Yorkshire Water?
Well, the good thing with Yorkshire Water, they've been very happy with us kind of using them as the first UK reference site. Obviously, as a water authority, they are quite keen to demonstrate innovation. I've gone through countless months of countless Teams calls, site visits to discuss this beast and to make sure that the beast is going to do what it needs to do. So we've got to a stage where they've said, yes, we're happy to be your first UK reference site. Because they've allowed us to do this, it is on the basis that we install the first one, we can prove and demonstrate what it's there to do, and then we've got a promise for other sites within the Yorkshire Water authority, if you like, that would then install other units of this. So in this instance, we've given them the largest of the 3 beasts that we supply to cope with Woodhouse Mill. Essentially, it's a skid mounted. They can just drop it into place. It's got a proprietary control panel as well, and all they need to do is just obviously do the permanent installation side of things for them, so they can pump it to their existing assets. But it's a good opportunity for us, and it's a good opportunity for Yorkshire Water as well, because they're going to benefit from this. They are going to be seen as the innovators, or at least, being the ones wanting to push the boundaries. And obviously we're the ones promoting that and pushing it as well. So I do believe it works in favour of both parties.
And will you be able at some stage to let the other water companies, I imagine you may be having conversations, but will you be able to take them there to have a look at it, or how are you going to then sort of engage with the other water companies? You mentioned in the States you had a virtual queue. Is that similar here? You've got a lot of interest, but they're all sort of sat on the sidelines waiting to see what happens.
It is. It's very much kind of, they're all sat there waiting, and they want to be able to go to site and see it in all of its glory, which it can be frustrating in a way, because I think, well, that's great, but you're only going to end up buying it anyway. but also, yes, Yorkshire Water have been very happy for us to say, yeah, site visits are fine, you know, if you want other authorities to come across, because at the end of the day, to a degree, it's very much a Yorkshire Water, look at us as well, look at what we've done, you know. And that's why I say it kind of lends hand in hand with both parties. So they're more than happy to kind of allow that as well. But I've been doing lunch and learns with numerous water utilities, UK and Irish based. We've got an innovation lunch and learn on Monday with an Irish water authority, which I'm really going to kind of demonstrate the value of the beast. The Irish market is one we've already kind of supplying our normal screens, grit treatment, sludge treatment, lime dosing, and anything else like that. We're already supplying that to them anyway, but it's about introducing this new product to them. But yeah, there is a virtual queue, and I no doubt think that although it took the US, you know, 2 years to sell the first, and then it carried on to a further 9, it will be fairly similar, if not better, in the UK market.
Okay, and then maybe just a bit more generally about Saveco. It'd be good to understand sort of what your presence is in the UK. So sort of part one, what you're doing at the moment, and then if you're able to share any plans, again, I know confidentiality can be an issue or whatever, but any thoughts as to how you will sort of grow your profile, in this market over time?
Yeah, of course. So Saveco UK, we are a sales subsidiary of our parent company, Webb Group. So Webb Group have been trading. They're an Italian-based company, and they've been trading in the worldwide market since 1968. They are a market leader in bulk handling products, so screw conveyors, especially silo safety systems, silos, anything that kind of encompasses concrete industries, cement industries, food, biogas, wastewater, industrial, municipal, you name it, we now cover it. So we are a UK sales subsidiary of our parent company. We have full support of our parent company, Webb, and we were introduced into the UK market as a municipal wastewater treatment solution provider in 2019. Since 2019 and our inception, we've grown massively in the market. Very much proof is in the pudding is a famous saying of mine, and there'd be lots of people that would smile when I say that. But I am very much a believer that Saveco have a reputation to build in the market. It has to be a good reputation, and we have some major projects in place at the moment with your top tier 1, tier 2 contractors and the water authorities directly. So we've got some really interesting projects. There'll be great kind of projects to be able to maximise our kind of width within the industry, but it will allow us to really demonstrate our skill set.
Okay, and in terms of the technologies, the portfolio, is it quite a broad one that you are offering now? Or maybe I'm trying to understand, is there more that you will be bringing into the UK over time, or is the whole portfolio sort of already here? What's the situation?
No, we, as I said, we are growing massively. Since I started, I don't know, maybe just over 18 months ago, we're now looking into different kind of avenues for growth. We are moving offices because we've outgrown our existing. We're employing extra staff, but to to kind of go with the growth that we've already got with the company. And 2023, it's a massive year for Saveco and for me personally, being the sector manager for the municipal side, because I really want to push the beast. I want the beast to succeed, but obviously we have existing relationships that we need to make sure that we continue to forge, and obviously creating new relationships and making sure that when we're given the opportunities that we succeed in those opportunities, and that people can essentially, they can look at us and they know they can trust us and rely upon us, because that's the most important thing for me personally, is being able to rely upon.
Yeah, and without wishing to labour the point, so the Beast is obviously an exciting product, but there are other sort of similarly exciting pieces of kit that over time you will be hoping make a similar impact into the UK market.
Yeah, the Beast is something that I've personally harnessed on in the UK market because I wanted to demonstrate innovation. I think the market was screaming out for this, and essentially, whether you're a utility company, a contractor, they need to be seen as innovating, moving forward with the world. And also cost savings as well for the end user. You know, they could be wasting, you know, X amount of pounds per year on certain processes. If I can come in and demonstrate that value to them, that's a good thing for me. But yes, we supply screens, we supply bridges, and clarifier tanks, which has been very successful. We've got a large project with one of the well-known utility companies on what would probably be, I don't know, the largest sewage treatment plant in Europe. Now, obviously, I'm not going to name check, but people could probably hazard a guess. But we've got large projects that we're taking on board with our other solutions, essentially bread and butter. But this innovation project is something that it kind of, you know, it greases my gears, if you like.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, I was going to, the final question was going to be how excited. I think we can tell how you're excited by the Beast, but obviously the opportunity to raise Saveco's profile in the industry in the UK is you think there's a right, you know, market's ripe for innovation and what you're going to be offering.
Yeah, if there is one thing I can bring is passion. If I believe in something, which I do believe in Saveco, and I believe in the Beast and everything that we supply, I think that can kind of transcend and other people can feel that. And as I said, we've got to make a good impression in the UK market. There's no kind of room for error. We need every opportunity we're given to make sure we give it our best. And that's why having Webb Group as our parent company, who I must say, they are a very, very big company as a worldwide entity, shifting over 700 tons of manufactured stainless steel every week. So we've got a huge buying power. So having their support allows us to go out into the market and maybe punch above our weight in certain instances in the market, and you know, maybe give some companies out there a bit of a kick up the backside. You know, they might have plateaued slightly, and we're there to test the market and say, look, we're here, we're driven, we're keen, and we can deliver.
And presumably as well, just sort of finding the size of the parent company also gives people reassurance when it comes to sort of the after sales, because often that can be a big issue, you know, the logistics of the support that people need, you know, with whether it's spare parts or just servicing, maybe that kind of thing. So you can tap into the larger organization to give people that reassurance.
Yeah, exactly. And now we're moving to larger premises, allows us to stock more spare parts. You know, whether it's brushes for your augers, whether it's a motor and a gearbox, wear bars for a basket, replacement baskets, whatever it may be, we will have the ability to store it here in the UK and have a quicker turnaround. But I am very much of the belief that, as I said, people buy into people. People don't want to have to wait for things. They want things immediately. So I like to be on point as I can to make sure I deal with any issues as and when they arise. Issues will always arise. It's how you manage those issues. So that's important, and quick turnaround on kind of, as you said, spares and stuff like that. So we can get whatever asset there is out there, keep it to its maximum.
Okay, it's been great to chat to you, Sir Craig. I really appreciate you giving me some time today. So thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much.